Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Mine was also okay. Now, the sentiments of the DP Rigathi Gachagua that Kenya Kwanza is a shareholding company where those who voted for them would actually get a lion's share in terms of national cake, how they share the national cake, found itself in wrong hands. This is after an altercation has emerged between the opposition and the government concerning the much awaited AFCON, African Cup of Nations. Recently, East Africa, that is Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, held a joint bid to try and convince Africa that they could jointly host the African Cup of Nations, and they won it. And Kenyans have really rejoiced that for the first time, I think, we are going to watch the giants in the world of football in our country. Nigeria, Cameroon, Ghana, Togo, because we've watched them on TV. But this time round, they are coming to Kenya. You all know that Kenya is really a football nation. And when Kenya got that opportunity, they quickly announced that they were going to host it in Nairobi, I think, and Eldoret. In Nairobi, they are renovating the Kasarani Sports Center, Nyayo Stadium, and in Eldoret, Kipchoge Keino. And this contract was given to our soldiers. The KDF are the ones that have been tasked by the responsibility of renovating our stadia to the standard that will be accepted by the African Cup of Nations or owners, or the supervisors will come and find out whether we have met the standards. But that is where confusion has come from. Because today, two governors, Kisumu's Nyongo and Fernandez Baraza of Western, that is Kakamega, held a press conference, and they accused the government of trying to apply the shareholding policy. And they are saying that in Kenya, we all know that most football lovers and fanatics, and of course even most players, are coming from Nyanza and Western. Of course, that is a fact you all know. And they are also reasoning that as such, Kenya should have decided to at least host the African Cup of Nations in Western and Nyanza together with the other regions like Nairobi and Eldoret. And they are saying that in Eldoret, the Kipchoge Keino Stadium is known for athletics, because our brothers and sisters from the Rift Valley are known for athletics. You know, people like Cherono, Kipyegon. There are people who they will always be running marathons and all that. As such, the two governors feel that William Ruto's government is intentionally excluding Nyanza and Western because they are opposition regions. And they are saying that evidence has shown that the success of any tournament is based on the funds. And they're saying that when you hold this thing in Eldoret, the stadium might not even be full because those people don't enjoy football. They really enjoy athletics. And maybe I want us to take a look at the kind of funds that Kogalo, that is Gor Mahia, and AFC, have, because Kogalo largely belongs to the Nyanza community, and of course it is a formation that everyone else, every community which loves football belongs to, and AFC is majorly supported by our brothers and sisters from the Western. But that doesn't mean that other communities don't support it. So just take a look at the kind of fan base that they have. That is the exact thing that Governor Nyongo and Baraza are talking about. And they're saying that if you look at our brothers in Tanzania and Uganda, they say that in Tanzania, they hosted it equitably. They hosted it in Zanzibar, Arusha, and Dar es Salaam, trying to ensure that the football lovers across board would enjoy it, and they considered where the funds come from. And in Uganda, it is hosted in Kampala, Lira, and Hoima, and they say that those, if you look at those regions, at least football lovers come from that region, those regions that they have mentioned. But they're saying that in Kenya, we are now taking our politics too far. And I want to agree with them that we should have at least given Nyanza and Western an opportunity to host this, because truth be told, I'm not saying that it is only in Nyanza and Western where we have football fanatics and football lovers and players. No. But you all know that in those regions, most talents come from there. We could talk of Olunga coming from Nyanza, talk of Wanyama and Mariga, Western. You could talk of Oliet. If you have big names in football, you will find them that they are coming from those sides. You even in the past, when some of us were not yet born, Kadenge, those big names, they hail from Western. And these are natural endowment that you cannot, argue with. For example, I want you to picture this. If we were to host maybe World Marathon and we decide to take it to Kisumu and deny Eldoret a chance, everyone would be asking, because we all know that in Rift Valley, that is where we have champions of athletics. There was a time I was in, is it Litain? Not Litain, there's a Iten, yes. And when I got to that town, you are being welcomed by a motto, welcome to Iten, the home of champions. And you all know that it's not championship in business. If you talk of business, you will be taken to Muranga. That is where we have giants. And it doesn't mean that other people don't invest. When you go to Kisumu, you know what it means. So when you are welcome to the home of champions, you know that it is champion in the world of athletics. And so they are asking the government to try and reconsider to include at least, Kisumu and Western to host this, because this will give the fans an opportunity to throng those stadia. Otherwise, in Eldoret, traveling all the way from the other side to Eldoret might be very difficult. And we are not saying that Eldoret does not deserve the right to host, but we are saying that looking at the facts in terms of talent, then Ababu Namwamba, one who is coming from Western, should have advised the president correctly. The last time I checked, your minister is supposed to advise you. Ababu Namwamba have these facts. He should have, advised the president and convinced and persuaded him to at least spread it, because you know that football lovers come from that place. And I don't want to play too much politics in this. I want to believe that William Ruto can still change his mind, or they can sit down as a committee, those who have been tasked by that responsibility, and at least take it to the places that the governors are asking. I don't know what you think about this. Do you think they are playing politics? Do you think they are, stretching their demands too far? In my very considered opinion, I believe that they are right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I was thinking of that maybe because of the shareholding company, we don't have shares. So those who come from Nyanza and those who come from Western maybe don't have shares. But then, Mudavadi and Wetangula, I think there are some shareholders there. Considering that they can at least, distribute some of the national cake, and let those people enjoy football. Someone is arguing that when you host a tournament such as the one that is coming, there's a lot of revenue because they will be sleeping maybe in those hotels and people will be there. And they say that maybe the government does not want those places to flourish. I don't know, and I don't want to believe. But William Ruto must be very considerate and must be very agile with facts so that we avoid such kind of things. I don't know what to think. I leave it to you to judge. But I think it is a valid argument that should be looked at. The shareholding thing must not be spread to more important things like sports. Otherwise, we will really get it wrong. Next time when we are selecting a team that will play for us, you will realize that because of the ethnicity and shareholding, we might leave out very talented young men to go and represent us. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but that is my take.